So we'd like to welcome everyone back here on Zachary's Journey. This is definitely a space where we get vulnerable, we get transparent, we talk about society and things that are going on in the world, and we also get into our personal lives. Um, and we also like to have a little fun. Um, but with that said, before we get into our conversation and we actually introduce our guest, Zachary. How are you doing? How are you feeling, my friend?
I'm doing good. I got some news yesterday. Yesterday evening actually, I submitted my volunteering with Robert actually. It's now available for Kindle, so I'm grateful for that.
Let's go. Let's go. So wait, is this your second book on Kindle now?
Yes,
So now both of the books that you've released are both available via physical copy and Kindle.
yes.
This is great news, man.
And
Congratulations.
I
That's
also
amazing.
have news. The
What's
third
that?
book is on the way pretty soon.
Hey now, this guy doesn't go to sleep. Just so you know. This guy does not sleep. He doesn't understand what the word rest means. He just keeps going. And I'm not knocking him for it because he's a hustler. So go get yours. I love it. Can we get a little tidbit as to what this next book's gonna be about, or you want to keep that a secret?
This next book is gonna be about bullying. It's
Bullying.
something, and we actually did a podcast with Shakir on bullying. That was the first episode we did with Shakir, and I'm so happy to have him back on this episode. So,
Let's go. Welcome back.
Hello. Hi. Hello. It's good to be back.
You're like the cousin of the show right now.
Oh, thank you. Like Ariana Grande said in Glinda and Wicked, it's good to see me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I, I,
So wait, is it safe to say, Zachary, that episode inspired this bullying book?
yes.
Look at that. Look, Shakir making an impact.
Oh, I'm a role model.
Yeah.
Who knows if Shakira is okay with it, then I might put him inside of the book.
Oh my God.
I I would that would be definitely interesting. That's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah,
All right,
Mm.
so let's get
but
into today's topic.
if you guys haven't watched the first episode with Shakira, please go ahead and watch it.
Right. Oh, before we get into today's topic, Shakir, how are you? Like
Right now, I'm feeling good right now. My life has been, blossomed in a way.
anything anything new happen from the last time we've spoken? Anything going on in your life that you'd like to share?
Actually, everything's been good. Everything has been under wraps. I can't spoil much, but everything has been under wraps. I'm just
Right.
in the preparation stage, trying to make sure everything gets ordered before I release anything.
Right. Love it. I love it. I love it. So we got a very interesting topic today. Um, and I'm going to allow Zachary to kick us off. But the topic is mainly surrounding segregation. And into today's society, unfortunately, this this thing still exists, and it's very unfortunate. It's very sad, and it seems to exist only for a specific type of people or specific color. Um,
Or a specific group kind of people. What I mean by group kind of people, I'm specifically talking about the LGBTQIA community.
right, right. So Zachary, why don't you kick us off into this conversation?
So I the reason why I thought it was a great topic to discuss with Secure and all this. We cover bullying, but I feel like bullying has and segregation kind of complement each other. So I kind of wanted to get your feedback about that and what you guys think about segregation and bullying.
Right.
Because I feel like it does play, segregation does play a part in bullying.
Right. Right. I don't
Because
know.
we,
What's that?
cause we all know the story about Rosa Parks and stuff like that.
Right.
People have fought for this country to be very inclusive, but this country is one race or the next. It is not just inclusive society. And I would like for this world to come together. And to me right now, it doesn't seem like it will ever be the case. At least
Right.
for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me, when I think of segregation, segregation can seep into a lot of things. It can seep into or be the motivation behind bullying. It can be the motivation behind treating people unfairly, or the motivation behind um, anything that surrounds the idea of doing someone else wrong in many ways. And I think the in many ways, one can argue that hatred is fueling a lot of that. Now, not maybe not in everyone's particular situation, but I think hatred is an underlying um, battery in the back in people's back, if I may put it that way, um, that exists, and it's unfortunate because you have many people who work hard, um, who make sacrifices to have the same rights to experience freedom in many ways. And it's sad. It's very sad that you see that a lot of these people don't ever really experience any of that. Or a better way to put it is don't ever are never allowed to experience a lot of that. I know for me, a lot of I I am concerned. For those who don't know, my wife happens to be black. She's from the Caribbean. Um, and we wanna grow our family, right? We wanna bring a child to the world. But sometimes I am concerned by the thought of that, because I also know what it looks like for people of color to live on this world and to try to experience freedom, to try to be loved, to try to be accepted. And many people are not lucky or fortunate in that area. So when I
And,
think of bringing a child to the world, I think of that. Like I would, I would probably kill if my child was treated unfairly or poorly or abused or any of that.
and, and this episode is not about politics, but I do feel like there's some reasons that segregate in today's society. And who who are they to say what you should do with your own life? If you want to do whatever you want to do, as long as you're respecting with each other. That's all that should matter. It doesn't matter if we are gay, whatever. As long as you be you, that should always be the case.
Right. What are your thoughts, Shakir?
Um, oof. You were just mentioning about your wife being black. I was about to say I'm black and white mixed in, or biracial, just mixed
Right.
in, because I have cousins that are actually they are black on this side and they are Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican is
Right.
also black, but they're also trying to act white as well too.
Right.
Um, for me, I don't know where to fit in this society because it makes me have to go in both ways. Like I have to
Right.
be in the black world, I have to be in the white world. Like I want to be in both where everybody can coexist
Right.
and we can stay perfect harmony in unity without division, without tearing each other down, without killing each other. Because
Right.
everybody wants to say all the racial things, racial slurs, or any cuss words that offend people of color or no color. It's very, I'm trying to describe the feeling the way I'm trying to describe my own feeling in this world right now. It's just very, I can't say it's weird. I'm trying to say is it's very odd,
Right.
very odd. It's like, are we still? My question is still questioning in my own mind. It's like, are we still living in modern slavery in this
Mm.
time?
Mm.
Because I don't think it's not going to stop because it's a non-stop going. And I'm just like, when does it ever going to stop? Question is, when does it ever, or when is someone is going to break the cycle? When someone's going to break the cycle?
Right.
Someone has to say, hey, I don't think we should do this right now.
Right.
I think we should stop. Stop the segregation. Stop the slavery. Let's just live in peace.
Right.
Peace and love is all we need in this world.
Right. Now
So,
you mentioned I guess a tension between being Puerto Rican and
mhm,
then being black at the same time. Now,
mhm,
like what does that look like? Do I guess I guess I'm what I'm trying to ask is,
mhm.
do you ever feel the need to like flip on a switch, so to speak, where if I'm around Puerto Ricans, I need that little Spanish, or
Oh, that
if I'm
little Spanish
around, yeah,
switch or
if
anything
I'm
else.
around black people, then I need to flip on my black switch, or if I'm around white people, I need to flip that on. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever feel that, being that you're mixed?
I have a feeling where you have to manage it. You have to manage your on and off switch. Where sometimes it's a lot to maintain it. To
Right.
maintain a lot in this world where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be like in the Puerto Rican world, maybe I do need to switch on my Spanish accent. I'm not going to lie. I am getting better with my Spanish, but I'm not very fluent. I'm still getting
Right.
better.
Right.
But sometimes I have to realize like these are my people too. I have to stick up to them too.
Right.
There's a lot to handle.
Right.
You have to be black too because you also live in this world. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle.
Right.
And then you got also got to be white. You also got to be white. You got to
Right.
act like the white people. Sometimes you got to act like white black people. Sometimes you got to act Puerto Rican people.
Right.
It's to come together. It's a lot to maintain. So to each three categories that I'm facing right now, I'm just like, I just wish there was just one world where I can just say, I want these three categories in one where I can just like, I'm home. This is where I live. This is where I need it to be. This is where I belong,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Right.
But I just
Does it?
like I said before, I just need everybody to coexist.
Right. Does it ever get aggravating? Like, does it get annoying that just can't be who you are in a room without feeling the need to constantly like try to fit in, so to speak?
Me, somebody told me this earlier. It's okay to be different because for me myself, I am way too open. And the thing is,
Mm,
openness gives me a lot of power to tell the truth to people in front of their faces or no faces, but just to say it directly in tone. It's sort of speak where, like, hey, I know this is going on, this is your life, this is personal, but I have nothing against you. There's judgmental things that's happening in the world
right,
that I am pointing this out. I'm not a judgmental person. I don't judge based off someone's life or anything else besides that because oh they black or they white or they're Mexican or oh they're Puerto Rican oh they what are they they're France they're like
right.
everybody all over the world. I just don't have no judge over them. I just can't judge based on someone's life based
Yeah,
off the color of their skin
right,
because it's showing thick skin. I just
right,
can't do that.
right, right,
And
right,
I think it's so devastating. I think it's so devastating to hear to say, uh, I don't like this person because they're so black, they too small, they too meek, they too
right,
weak.
right,
It's it's just something crazy people would say and just not in their right mind to what were you thinking when you said that?
right, right, right,
Right.
right,
Insecurity? Insecurities maybe? Because it stems from insecurities. And everybody got their own insecurities.
right.
But freedom of speech, no one should never allow them to have their own insecurities become worse than them.
Right.
So I'm just in my head like, I don't know. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Because I can't tell nobody what they can do and cannot do.
Right.
I have no
Like,
judge
Right.
on that.
like I said in the bullying episode, sometimes people are not okay with themselves, so they think it's okay to bully other people.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, Zachary, what does that look like in your world? Like, as far as like, have you been bullied? And what has that looked like? And then how have you handled that?
I'm gonna say this is a trigger warning for everybody. So if you're not comfortable with this type of conversation, I do recommend you turn the video off right now. But I'll just skip ahead. But there has been a time where I was in a school cafeteria just eating my lunch and stuff like that. And just having a good time with my friend Carlos and just enjoying chatting with Carlos. But he told me, Zach, move quick, quick. Yeah, he kept saying, move quick, move quick, move quick. I was like, why? I was just talking to you. And then I feel nails digging into my skin. And then I was, cause the guy was coming, he got on my chair and he tried to choke me to death. So this is why I feel like I have to write a book about bullying to share my experience because I am, to be honest, it still hurts me to know that somebody tried to take my own life,
Right.
and I couldn't speak for 3 weeks. I had to be on a communicator to be able to speak.
Wow. I mean, I'm first off, let me say this. I'm sorry that that has happened to you. That is nasty work. That is really that's disgusting to know that there are people who exist that would do such thing. Um,
They
I
got
will.
they got I was with Coles in that moment. Cause if if I wasn't with Coles in that moment, I strongly believe that I wouldn't be here without Coles. So this is why I talk so highly about Coles, because to me, Coles saved my life.
Right.
If if it wasn't for Carlos, who knows what could have had happened to me. It took 4 teachers to get this bully off of me.
Now, you. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, this person, was he somebody who attended school? Was he a classmate?
He attended school, and
Okay.
honestly, I was so scared to go back.
Now, did you have like prior altercations with this guy, or this was just like a one off?
No, I was like the popular kid. He was kind of jealous that everybody was talking to me, hanging around me, and he would always get in trouble. So he would try to pick on me because I was kind of the popular kid.
Got it. Wow, that is that is terrible. So what ended up happening to this kid?
So mm, I I told the school what happened. I
Right.
told the school I'm not comfortable with with being in this classroom. And in January of that year, I ended up switching classrooms because
Right.
of this guy.
Terrible.
And
So wait,
honestly,
n- as
if
far
I
as like the incident, like nothing, did anything happen? Like, did they suspend him? Did they anything?
th-
What?
they let him go for 2 or 3 weeks, but I told um a paraprofessional at the time
Right.
I do not feel comfortable walking around the school building because the, if if that happens, who knows? He might go back to me and try to do something. So I told the school that I'm not comfortable to walk around in the school alone anymore.
Right.
So I had a paraprofessional walk me around after the incident happened.
Terrible. Now, like, what
And
was
if
like? Uh
and
huh.
if my paraprofessional goes away, I they give me a separate paraprofessional to take over when they have a lunch break or anything else. Because
Right.
I told them I'm so scared that I don't even want to be alone in the same room. I'd
Right.
rather go with you or you take me with you.
Right. Now, I'm
I'm so,
assuming that
I'm
this.
sorry if it's triggering for you guys.
No, no, this is. I mean, it's terrible. It is terrible that you went through this. Um, but um, now I'd assume that you were on high alert, so to speak, and you had people walking around with you for some time. But eventually, you had to. I would assume that you had to face life. Just being able to be a little bit more independent
The-
and not depend on people. How did you get to that point?
Honestly, when I found out that this kid was expelled from the school and was able to get back, that gave me some closure. That gave me a realization. Okay, he's gone, so maybe I can be myself again.
Right. Right. But has that incident affected you long term? Like does it still play in your mind? And does it affect your
I,
relationships now or life now?
I'm gonna be honest. There's some occasions where I do have nightmares from this situation,
Right.
and I'm just grateful for my buddy colors. Now, this is the real reason why I speak so highly about colors the way I do. Because I honestly believe that if it wasn't for colors, I would be gone a long time ago.
Wow.
It was that bad.
Wow. Wow, man. That's some deep stuff, and that's horrible. You had to you had to face that stuff, man. And I am glad, however, that you are able to survive. You're still here. So that's a win. Um,
Mm,
Unfortunately, you had to experience the things that you experienced. But maybe is there anything that you can pull from that experience that has helped build character or helped you push forward?
well, I'm gonna say this. I knew something was off, but I didn't know what it was. Pay attention to your surroundings because I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. I was just having a fun conversation with my friend and I wasn't paying no mind. I didn't think anything could happen because we're on school grounds. The teachers will take care of you. The staff will take care of you. But it just taught me just pay attention of your surroundings because you never know when when something bad could occur.
Right. Wow. Has this what has this situation taught you?
Now, when I see other people being bullied, I will jump in and protect those people. I don't care what it will take. I will sit around with them and kind of help help them as best as I can.
Right.
And
Right.
if worse comes to worst, and I'm not in the school or anything like that, I will find a way to get in the school. I will find a way to see with my own eyes what is going on because I have a similar friend that is going through the same situation that I went through, but
Right.
this year alone, and I called um the school telling them about the situation, and you know what they told me? They told me you're not the parent to because we cannot expose that information. If if this individual is being bullied, then the parents gotta call the school. But I don't care because I would kindly see what can I do to help this person out. If a person tell me no, I will fight my way around it, and I will get my own closure, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because if I don't find a closure, then this will be highly on my mind until I fix it.
Right. Right. Man, that's
I
that's terrible. That's
I,
terrible. Shakira, have you experienced anything? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be to that magnitude, but along the same lines, um, as far as like bullying or even segregation, any of that?
Um, that one story that did inspire me was Emmett Till's story. The only
Right,
thing that literally like stuck out to me is because he was once just like us. Us
right,
us like autistic people that's all over the world. If it wasn't for him, we would not be here right now in the modern times.
right,
But it's such a sad story because I'm everybody knows the story. I'm just gonna put it in a short version way. You went to the store, get to a little, uh gas station, get a little something here and there. He was trying to speak, and but sometimes he looked at a white woman, y'all know how that went down and everything. But then, these two white men kind of like got him up, started beating him to the death and dumped him in the river. I'm thinking that it's just a sad situation, but also a mother to see her son get murdered. And
right,
he was just like, can't even speak, just like autistic people, like nonverbal people can't speak until they're ready to speak. They have to take speeches. They got to take a lot of lessons to get to that point, to get to that stage.
right,
And the whole world knew nothing about this boy. A lot of people knew nothing about it, like acting like that has nothing happened. And the thing is about like Zachary was saying, hold on, hold on. Sorry, my brother is knocking. Um, it's just going back to what I was saying earlier. It's just that it's so sad to see a lot of people who knew nothing about this boy that just got murdered, and it's like this is what the society that we're living in now. Like y'all don't nothing know nothing about this boy. Y'all didn't know what exactly what happened to him. He's
right,
just cold blooded murdered. And just pinpoint what Zachary has said about watching your surroundings, because you may have never know who may be watching, like
right,
behind the bush or behind the trees, or it may be up in the clouds, having a drone somewhere. I want to point that out too. I want to put that out because I do have a story about that too. Like up in the clouds or anywhere else, or just like any any lurking in the shadows. This is saying just like, okay, this is kind of weird. People are a little bit weird to do that. And it's like, why are you watching me? Why are you standing here? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What's the whole reason? If you have a
right,
reason to do this, you should have a reason behind it.
and Anthony, I do want to say if I see somebody being bullied because of me being on the other side, I am quick to attack because it still is a trigger point for me.
right,
Mhm. Yeah, it's just very so weird. It's just like people gotta have reasons in order to do it. If it's for your own insecurities, that's probably why. If you don't like this person, just say and tell them the straight up in front of your face and be like, "Hey, if I would, this is no offense, no offended comments to none of y'all, but I'm just saying, if I go up to this person and say, "Hey, I don't like you only because I'm jealous because you're so successful." That probably be the reason why I'm saying that.
right,
But if I was the one to be like, why will I'd be thinking in my head like, why will I be jealous of somebody that's being successful? I like them being successful. It doesn't matter if they have a lot of followers than me. It's just because they're human. They got a nice heart. They know they're taking care of themselves. They got family. They got kids. Everybody got lives, and you
right,
can't kill them because everybody got lives. They're doing what they need to do. They doing it because of work. They need
right,
this. Everybody has their own situations that they go through, and still have to come back home and deal with this situation every single day. It's a
right,
nonstop. Life be lifing.
right,
So
right.
it can't be no there should not it should never be no reason to go out here and kill somebody only because of your own insecurities. It shouldn't be no reason to do that. No reason. No excuses. Shouldn't have no
Right.
excuse.
So that
You
Right.
gotta you gotta own up your own responsibilities, your own consequences. Because every action has their own consequences behind it. Once you did something, you get in trouble for it. So everybody gotta
Right.
learn their own
all,
consequences and also deal with it. So yeah.
all my teachers stole it into me. They said treat people the way you want to be treated,
Right.
Hmm.
and never judge a book by its cover. That needs to be te- teaching back in high school. And now I feel like that is not being taught in high school. Anthony, you have you ever had an encounter like me or secure, or was it different on your end?
Um, I think I at one point in school, I don't remember. I think it was right before high school. Um, I did I did get bullied, or there was an attempt to try to bully me for a bit, and I do remember um not really understanding why, because I was like the class clown. So for me, like I didn't take school serious at all. I
Yeah,
really didn't. Um, and I was, I was just there making people laugh and everything like that. And that was at the end of the day, that's all I did, and that's pretty much all I cared about. I hated school. Um, so like, and I wouldn't really bother anyone either. Like I wasn't out bullying anybody. I wasn't, uh, you know, saying jokes about anybody, disrespecting anyone. I was just more so joking around, making the class laugh, and getting in trouble. But um, yeah, there was a period in time where I did get bullied. I ended up uh, getting beat up by this one kid because he kind of like he snuck up on me and just started hitting me, whatever the case is. And thankfully, not really much happened. Like he got like two hits in, and then people separated it and everything like that. Um, but since then, like that opened up like a can of worms for him, because after that, I guess he thought he had the upper hand, or he thought he was the alpha, so to speak, and he would periodically try to, you know, say things to me, and try to see, just to see how far he can go and everything like that. Um, that ended up lasting for a little bit, because I think that ended up lasting one school year, which might have been either seventh or eighth grade. I don't remember. And then he actually left to go to another school after that. But aside from that, I really didn't get bullied throughout my time in school. Um, but I did see and witness a lot of people get bullied. I did see, you know, um, back then, being gay or being lesbian wasn't as accepted as it is today. Not even close.
it
Like,
it got
la- uh-huh.
uh, it got a little better accepting the LGBTQ community, but there's still some improvement that need to be done.
For sure, for sure. But like back then, like in comparison to today, we're miles ahead. Like miles. When I tell you, like, people were afraid to come out. Let's put it this way: people were afraid to come out the closet back then. Like they were deathly afraid because back then it was so taboo, um, that you didn't necessarily know what people's reaction was going to be. Um, and being that it wasn't necessarily something that was accepted, it was something that was very much frowned upon. People just kept it to themselves, so they were like secretive their whole entire lives, pretty much. I remember seeing people in my class, uh, who were gay, but then also trying to be, secretive about it. But there's only so much. There's only you can only get so far with that because it's almost obvious that you are. But at the same time, like when you're asked about it, it's like, no, 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 you crazy? I love females, no, or the opposite. No, no, I love males, and but it was all out of fear. That their response was like, oh man, I might get beat up today, or oh man, somebody might say something and I might get bullied. So I saw a lot of bullying when it came to, um, the gay community, unfortunately. And I remember one kid in particular. He would be in tears because he opened up to me one time, and he was like, "Hey, just told me, the truth and everything like that." And I wasn't even asking for it. It was like, for me, I've always lived a life where I don't necessarily care what you do, what you believe in. Believe what you want. It's your life. You're entitled to believe and feel however you want. You know, as long as your beliefs aren't being enforced on me, I'm good because I'm going to believe whatever I want. And I'm not going to judge you for what you believe because we're both two individuals and we're not robots. We're not programmed all the same, right? And I think that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, he opened up to me, and he just started expressing to me how afraid he was because he was like, man, if if people find out, then I'm gonna, I might get bullied, or
Um,
my parents might not be okay with this. And yeah, he was dealing with a lot.
um, people might not want to come out also because they're scared to lose the relationship you have with the individual.
Right.
So maybe that's why that they refuse to keep it in
Right.
low.
Right. Shakir, you had something you
Yeah,
wanted
it
to
just got
share?
me thinking. Yeah, it just got me thinking. Maybe because the insecurities, I'm just now thinking if I was him in this situation, right? Just given like full discovery mode of him, he probably was just thinking of if you came to me, right, and I have a problem with you, right? It's only because my insecurities are just saying that maybe if I came out as, whatever, gay, bi, straight, or this, I have a feeling that if this is him speaking, I have a feeling that people may not be friends with me. I may get beat up, or my father won't, or my mother won't accept me for who I am as as a person.
Right.
Like, I don't know what love is or how to discover love.
Right.
It's like it's almost like a questioning feel, but also distancing like from people. Like this is a
Right.
lot of people over here, and you're that one person. So this is what it is.
Right.
And I'm just now real, and this is me coming out of him, but just now looking at him and realizing me, I'm just like, I have that same feeling too. Like me
Right.
being alone about questioning what is love, how to discover love, or anything else. The amount of love of people that has for me, just like you guys, is kind of outstanding to me because one, I'm being myself.
Right.
That's what makes it more fun. And the
Well,
thing is that me being open to you guys, me expressing myself is more welcoming because I don't
right.
have to, push no pressure on anybody to say it's okay for you to, like me, accept me for, anything that I'm going through or any situation I'm going through. It's like, I mean, we family, we brothers, we sisters, it's like we blood, blood related.
Right. Right. Right.
That's like it's way more different. Way more different. And if it's a friend, I'll be like, yeah, we're not blood related, but I see you as my uncle, my brother,
Right.
my broster, like brother slash sister, or
Right.
any or father. You're my father figure. And because you always trying to look out for me. And if you say, hey, it's okay to be yourself, it's okay to do this. I have no judgmental, things of what your beliefs are. I still
Right.
like you because you're still my friend. And hey, if them haters are still like bullying you, let me deal with it. Let me back you up to say, you ain't gonna go through my friend. You're gonna have to deal with me first.
Right.
Like always defend them.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Like,
So
That
like,
that's that's good stuff,
uh,
man. Because I again, it's unfortunate, and like I said, back then it was crazy. I even watched people getting beat up because of it, right? Um Now it still exists, unfortunately. But I think it exists in a different form, where it almost feels like, okay, you can have your belief, you can be gay, you can have you can be Republican, you can be Democratic, whatever the case is. But now we're going to ensure that you're almost like kept in this box, so to speak.
mhm.
And that's what it feels like. It still feels hateful, because it's like you're trying to enclose somebody. You're trying to, pretty much choke them without choking them, right? And strip away their freedom and strip away their opportunity. Um, but then at the same time say, "Oh no, well, you're free to feel however you want. You're free to be whoever you want." Well, are you really? Like, because I mean, you're keeping me in this room now, and you're keeping me in this box. You almost At this point, you might as well call me a dog.
mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
Right.
I'm like, are you sure about that? Like, are you sure? Because
Right.
the way I'm seeing it, it's like, are you still living inside that closet? I feel like, not like FOMO, but I feel like socially distancing yourself from people.
Right.
Like, are you sure? I mean, keep yourself safe, but that's good and all. But are you sure? Are you 100% sure about that?
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
Like,
ask yourself this question: are you okay? Are you okay to loving yourself?
Right.
Are you okay to do that? Are you okay to looking yourself in the mirror to say how amazing you are? Are you okay to say a positive affirmation to yourself in the mirror without
Right.
crying or making yourself laugh to make you happy? Because I do that all the time too to make myself laugh and be like, man, I love myself too much. I can't stop laughing.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Well,
Yes.
you were gonna say something, Zachary?
I was gonna say, because this is heavy on my heart. Who are who are we to judge somebody else?
Hmm.
Who, like, I just don't understand why are people so ignorant and so quick to judge other people before getting to know their story.
Right.
And I have another friend of mine. He, p- People may know him. It's Chris Singleton, and he says 10% is what we can't control, but the 90% is what we can control. We
Right.
can't control what disability we have. We can't control what we've been through, but we can control how we make a difference and change lives.
Right.
And that quote always stuck with me.
Right. Right.
And he is one of my biggest inspirations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've heard. I used to say all the time. Um, you can't necessarily control what happens to you, but you can control the spirit you operate in, and the way you respond to what happened to you. Um, and I try to apply that a lot in my life. Um, because listen, we're real. Life just life sometimes, right? Sometimes it just gets a little wild, and it could feel sometimes that when it rains, it pours. And this is just how life is sometimes. Um, but if we were to allow every situation to affect us in a negative fashion, and it affects us so much so that we respond in a negative fashion, then how are we ever moving forward as a society? How are we ever moving forward individually? Um, we're really not. We'll be stagnant for the rest of our lives. Why? Because we're allowing emotion to spearhead our lives. Our
Mm.
emotions being, just reacting to every single thing that happens. So it's always good to be aware of the things that are happening, and then aware of where you are emotionally, and respond from there, right? Even if your response is, hey, let me take a break for a second, let me not be so quick to respond, because I think society also forces you, or makes it seem like you have to be a quick responder. You don't. As a matter of fact, a wise person takes their time. And sometimes you need that extra minute, you need that extra 30 minutes, you need that extra hour or two, just to let things sink in. You're able to process, then respond. And then that response is a response that's come from process. That's a response that's come from um, deep thinking. That's going to be a smart response as opposed to reactionary. Um, but yeah, man,
I
this,
have
you
one
know,
more question for you both.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think we can address it in a safe manner?
Say that again.
How can we address this in a safe manner?
How can we address? I didn't get the last part.
In a safe way.
In a safe manner.
And
Yeah.
Um, how can we address segregation? Is that's your question?
Yes.
Got it. Um, well, I think um I think we be the change we want to see in the world, right? Not to get too churchy, but there is a verse that says, "Perfect love casts out all fear," right? Um, and that verse in particular just tells me, right, that love in itself is an antidote, right? If you're dealing with fear, hey, here's a dose of love, because it'll cast that right out. And I believe that love will do the same toward hatred. I believe love will do the same toward jealousy, toward resentment, toward bitterness. Why? Because love responds with grace. Love responds with empathy. Love responds with people in mind, with people's feelings in mind, um, and it always responds gracefully. So I really believe that in order for us to see change, one, we have to be change. How do we be change? Well, we start by infusing the world with doses of love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just now thinking that I'm agreeing everything you said. Thank God you're a faithful person. I was just like, it's that quote that really just stuck to me. I was just like, change. We also need patience too,
Mm,
because patience is the key. Just like waiting to see what will happen to other people. Just like, are they going to make a change, or do we have to make the change? Because we
right,
can't tell people what to do, but we also can say, you know what, you have the freedom of speech, but we are waiting patiently to like,
right,
okay, to actually gradually moving in a slower or faster pace.
right,
And we need to come in realization to like, we have to make sure that the world goes stop. Like stop on a time second freeze time machine to like, okay, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to fix everything we got going on right now, even though some things are important to us in our life. But I feel like change is what we need, and patience, and wise for words, wise for words. We need just wise words in our system.
right,
So that way, we can be better in our lives. So we can do right.
right,
So that way fear cannot take over us. We have to be mindful of that. We have to be strong in our own selves and be strong for other people. So that way we will know like, oh yeah, you ready. You
right,
ready. You ready to change. So it's a
right.
stepping stone.
Zachary, I'll ask you the same question.
Mm.
How do you think we can safely um, address these matters?
By start having a support group, or also have people come in and share their testimonies about being bullied or about being segregated, because it's one thing to be listened to, be taught this, but it's a totally different thing when somebody like an influencer or speaker come into your room and actually speak about what they went through.
Right,
To me, that hits different than actually learning about it,
right,
because now you can connect your own situation with the individual or speaker that's talking.
right,
And not only that, but you can have one-on-one conversation if you're comfortable with it, speaker or talker, because they could answer any of your questions that you
right,
that you had.
right. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Um, and this has been a real powerful, in depth conversation.
But
Um,
I do want to say before we end this episode, I love all my guests that be on this podcast, because we get to learn from each other,
right,
and we get to see other people's perspective about topics, karaoke, stuff like that, fashion, or just have a good time, be our authentic selves. but
Right.
we have people like Shakir and Candace, uh, Nicole, everybody that share their kno- knowledge and stuff. Like,
Right.
I'm so grateful that I built this platform to be able for people to share their topic and share their experiences, because honestly, I'm very inspired by you
Right.
know, like as I'm learning more and more and more about my guests, I kind of build that deep connection with them.
Right.
And yes, we might do our own thing on TikTok or any platform that we meet on, but those interactions are what we should hold on to.
Right.
And I take those stories not very lightly, because it does take a lot of courage. It does take a lot of commitment to want to be on these episodes. So I do appreciate each and every guest on my episode.
Right. Right.
And I can't believe we're 23 episodes in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. 23. 23. Wow. That's good stuff, man. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely agree with what you have said is that you're doing. You forget that people are experiencing life across the globe, right? And a lot of people are experiencing life differently. You know, not everyone is experiencing life the same way you're experiencing. Although it's the same day, a lot of us live, maybe not all of us, but some of us live in the same state, and two people can be in the same room yet experience two different things. And I find that fascinating, just because it just shows that we're all created different. We're
I
wired
feel
different.
like I feel like we're more the same than we are different.
Okay. Well, the same in what regard?
Like we all have the same beliefs, but the only difference is we're different nationalities, we're different dudes with different challenges, but we all believe the same thing.
Sure. I mean, in regards to beliefs, yeah, we believe the same, but we're individuals, right? And what individuals, who are like minded. That's probably a better word to use. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with us being unique. You know, we agree on a lot of stuff, and then there also might be some stuff that we don't agree on, and that's okay too. That's the next thing. Like I think sometimes people think that you have to agree on every single thing, and that's not necessarily the case. There is a world we can live in where we don't necessarily have to agree on everything. Does that mean I like you any less? No. Does that mean I love you any less? No. We continue to move forward and embrace each other's differences. So, but Shakur,
Again, again,
it's
I
been
will.
amazing having you again.
Yes, I'm just glad to be with, my two favorite people here. I'm just glad to be back, man. Like, it just puts a smile back on my face to see you again and Zachary. It's just like, oh, my heart is melting.
Right,
I
right,
got.
right, right.
I gotta say, when when I was thinking about my next book, I was kind of rewatching the podcast that we did about bullying. I was like,
Ah,
what? What am I supposed to do about? I need to do something, but I don't know what to do. So I was like, why not make it into a book? And I do have one more question for the
sure.
Kyo. If you're okay with it, I would like to feature you in my book.
Uh-oh. I think I like that. I like that.
You know what? Access granted. That means a yes.
I like it.
Yes. Let me be the perfect character in the book. Yay. I love being in a book. That means I'm definitely gonna buy this book and show
Yeah,
somebody,
there you go.
show it to
You gotta
everybody now
you
that
gotta
I'm
be
in
the
the
first
book.
to buy this one now.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
I don't know why I'm going to talk about it, but I'll get my roots on it.
that's right. So you guys heard it here first. You heard that Zachary is going to be working on a third book, and you also heard that our guest here, who is no longer a guest, um, is going to be starring in the book. So keep an eye out for that, and I'm sure that's going to be good once it does drop and everything like that. But in the meantime, go get yourself the two books that he has already dropped, both on Kindle. What is Kindle? Kindle and physical copies. You can get them physically through Amazon, or you can just get them on Kindle. So whatever works for you, go check those two books out. And that is that. I want to thank our guest again, not our guest, our long lost cousin here. Um,
We can just
and
call him a regular at this point.
yeah, yeah, there you go. The third host of the show. Um, so yeah, thank you yet again. It's always great to sit here and have a conversation with you. So thank you for taking the time out to do this. Um,
Yes.
and as always, Zachary, thank you for creating this platform, for being
No
raw
problem.
and real and transparent, man.
But don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends.
Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead right now. All right. With that said, thank you for joining us. And till the next time. Later.